My infertile SIL attacked me at my baby shower and was arrested. Months later, she has lost her own kid and wishes to meet my daughter. I have been married to Sam, 34, for 7 years. We first met at the wedding of a mutual friend in 2016. I was a bridesmaid, and Sam was a groomsman. We were paired to go down the aisle together, and we hit it off right away. After the ceremony, we spent the entire reception chatting and laughing. By the end of the night, we had exchanged phone numbers and set up our first date. After that, our relationship moved quickly. We discovered a lot in common, including a love of hiking, a shared interest in true crime podcasts, and a desire to start a family someday. Following a year of dating, Sam proposed to me during a dusk hike along our favorite path. 6 months later, we had a wonderful fall wedding with our closest friends and family. From the start, we knew we wanted children. We started trying for a child shortly after our honeymoon. At first, it was exciting. We joke about which of our qualities the baby will inherit, such as Sam's dimples or curly hair. However, as months passed without a positive pregnancy test, elation turned to concern. We tried everything to increase our chances. I began religiously tracking my ovulation, and both of us made lifestyle changes. Sam quit smoking, a habit he had had since college. I gave up on my favorite morning coffee. We joined a gym together, determined to get in the greatest shape of our lives. However, nothing changed. After 2 years of following failed attempts, we decided to see a reproductive doctor. Dr. Anderson ran a variety of tests on each of us. Those weeks of waiting for results were some of the most stressful of our lives. When the results arrived, they were frustratingly inconclusive. There was no clear explanation for our inability to conceive. Dr. Anderson encouraged us to keep trying and noted that sometimes these things just take time. During this period, Rachel, 29F, Sam's younger sister, married her college sweetheart, 31M. Their wedding was beautiful, and I remember feeling envy as Rachel tossed her bouquet and joked about how she and Jack would be the next to have a child. I had no idea how momentous that moment would be in our life. As our infertility worsened, we felt increasingly isolated from our friends and family. Everyone around us looked to be having babies effortlessly. Our social media feeds were loaded with pregnancy announcements and infant photos. Each one felt like a strike to the gut. We began declining invitations to baby showers and first birthday parties because we found them difficult to attend. After 5 years of labor, it happened. I was a week late, but I was too scared to take a test, not wanting to be disappointed again. Sam finally bought a pregnancy test and urged me to use it. When the 2 pink lines appeared, we both burst into tears of excitement. To be certain, we must have taken 5 further tests. Given our background, we chose to announce the pregnancy at 12 weeks. The weeks spent calm. We were both excited and concerned about keeping our secret. Every twinge or wave of nausea sent me into a frenzy, terrified that something had gone wrong. But when we saw our baby bean bouncing around on the screen during our 12-week scan, we knew it was time to share our delight. We announced our pregnancy at a family supper. Sam's parents were hosting their annual summer barbecue, and it looked like the perfect occasion. When we broke the news, the reaction was overwhelming. Sam's mother burst into tears of joy, while his father grabbed him close. My family was unable to stop smiling. It was a great moment that I'll cherish forever. Despite all of the happiness and congratulations, I couldn't help but notice Rachel's reaction. While everyone else was celebrating, she remained seated, her look blank. When she came over to congratulate us, her hug was stiff, and her smile did not reach her eyes. I ignored it at the moment, assuming she was merely surprised by the news. As my pregnancy progressed, we began to make plans for our baby's arrival. We turned our home office into a nursery by painting the walls in a subtle mint green. Sam's father helped us put up the crib, making it a full-day event with pizza and beverages, non-alcoholic for me, of course. My mother and I spent weekends searching thrift stores for unique, vintage-inspired baby clothing. Rachel's behavior remained strange during this time. She rarely asked about the pregnancy, and when she did, her responses were usually negative. When I showed Rachel a beautiful hand-knitted blanket made by my grandmother, she said it was a shame to put so much effort into something that would most certainly get spit up on. Despite Rachel's attitude, we tried to include her in the pregnancy experience. We invited her and Jack to our gender reveal party, where we learned that we were having a daughter. Rachel arrived late, barely spoke with anyone, and left early, citing a headache. As the due date came, Sam's mother agreed to throw us a baby shower. Her offer moved us, so we gratefully accepted it. The day of the shower arrived, and our house was packed with friends and relatives. Everyone was present to celebrate our forthcoming. A baby girl. Rachel arrived an hour late and appeared annoyed. She handed me a gift and walked to the food table without saying anything. Throughout the party, she criticized the decorations, games, and even the gifts offered by others. I overheard her telling Jack that the whole affair was ugly and over the top. When it came time to exchange gifts, things became even worse. Rachel's expression deepened as I opened each package and thanked the benefactor. When I unwrapped her gift, a plain white onesie, she sprang up and yelled, "This is so unfair." Rachel resumed her rant, and the room fell silent. She moaned about how long she'd been trying to conceive, how she deserved to be a mother more than I did, and how unfair life was. Then, surprising everyone, she grabbed the cake knife. From the table, he lunged for me. Thank God, Sam's quick reflexes saved the day. He grabbed Rachel's arm before she got to me. During the chaos that ensued, someone dialed 911. Rachel was arrested for attempted assault, and the baby shower came to an abrupt end. I was deeply shaken. My sister-in-law's attempt to harm me, and perhaps my unborn child, seemed unfathomable. Sam was disturbed, torn between concern for me and wonder at his sister's actions. After the incident, Jack begged us not to file charges. He revealed Rachel's infertility and sadness, as well as her inability to think clearly. But Sam and I couldn't simply let it go. We decided to bring charges because we believed Rachel deserved to face the consequences of her actions. Rachel is currently in jail awaiting her trial. Our family has been torn apart. Some family members say we are being too tough and should dismiss the charges for the sake of family harmony. Others agree with our assessment, believing Rachel's actions were unacceptable, regardless of her mental state. I can't help but feel guilty. Did I go too far in celebrating my pregnancy when I knew Rachel was struggling? Should I have shown more sympathy for her feelings? But then I remember how she endangered not only me, but also my pregnant child, and I feel justified in our decision. Why, AITA? Did you have my sister-in-law arrested during my baby shower? Update: 1 month has passed since the baby shower incident, and a lot has changed. First and foremost, I'd like to express my appreciation to everyone for your offers, assistance, and suggestions. Our family has been going through a difficult time, and your remarks have brought us some comfort. Rachel's trial date was originally slated for next month, but there have been some unexpected alterations. Jack called Samantha approximately 2 weeks ago, asking if we might meet to discuss the problem. After some hesitation, we decided to meet in a neutral location, a neighborhood coffee shop that Sam and I used to frequent when we first started dating. When we arrived, we discovered not just Jack but also Rachel's parents. Linda, Rachel's mother, 58F, immediately began pleading with us to dismiss the allegations. She added that Rachel had been diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety and was now taking medication and going to treatment. Linda insisted Rachel didn't belong in jail and that instead of punishment, treatment was required. As Linda spoke, I couldn't help but think about Sam and Rachel's early days together. Rachel was warm and welcoming when Sam first introduced me to his family. We'd even formed a friendship, going shopping together and enjoying girls' nights with champagne and rom-coms. It was tough to understand that Rachel had used a knife to attack me. Jack immediately revealed the truth: Rachel was pregnant. They had apparently been undergoing IVF, with their most recent attempt proving successful. Jack stated that Rachel found out just a few days before our baby shower, but she was too sad to process it properly. He said her outburst was driven by a combination of hormones and mental health issues. I was amazed. A part of me sympathized with Rachel, recognizing how intense those emotions must have been. But a part of me couldn't get past my dread when she approached me with the knife. I remember how cold her eyes were. Rachel is so unlike the person I thought I knew. Sam and I excused ourselves to talk about the problem in private. We walked to a nearby park, where we used to go on picnic dates in the start of our relationship. As we sat on a bench, the magnitude of the decision before us seemed overwhelming. We couldn't make up our mind. On the one hand, we recognized Rachel was going through a difficult phase and required assistance. We pondered on our years of friendship, the holidays we had taken together, and the intimate jokes we had shared. Her actions, on the other hand, had threatened both me and we believed the pregnant child should bear the consequences. Following a lengthy talk, we agreed to consult with our lawyer about the possibility of a plea deal. We didn't want to drop the charges completely, but we were willing to work out a compromise that would ensure Rachel got the help she needed while also holding her accountable for her actions. When we returned to the coffee shop and explained our ideas, Jack and Rachel's parents were relieved. They applauded us heartily for being willing to seek alternatives to jail time. Linda hugged me, tears in her eyes, and I was transported to happier times with this family. As we exited the coffee shop, I had a range of emotions. I was still upset by what had happened, but there was a glimmer of hope that our family may recover. Sam clutched my hand as we walked to our car, and I knew we'd face whatever occurred together. The next day, we met with our attorney to discuss our options. She argued that a plea bargain could be a viable alternative, potentially leading to forced rehabilitation. Rachel's sentence will be community service and probation, not jail time. We agreed to proceed with this method. However, later that week we received another unexpected phone call from Jack. Rachel was hospitalized due to pregnancy complications. Her physical health had degraded as a result of both the stress of the upcoming trial and her mental health issues. Jack sounded tired and worried over the phone. He informed us that Rachel had started bleeding and was in risk of losing the baby. As he spoke, I felt a surge of mixed emotions. Despite everything that had happened, I would never wish the heartache of losing a pregnancy on anyone, especially Rachel, who had been trying to conceive for so long. We are presently in a bad situation. The trial has been postponed due to Rachel's condition, and we are left to question if we are doing the right thing. Are we being too harsh? Is it not challenging enough? It's a delicate balance between justice, compassion, and familial devotion, and I'm not persuaded we're getting it right. In light of all of this, Sam and I have spent a lot of time talking about our own upcoming fatherhood. We've started taking parenting classes, and each one reminds us of the enormous responsibility we're going to undertake. It has reinforced our determination to provide a safe and stable home for our daughter. I'll keep you updated as things go. Thank you all for your assistance at this tough time. Update 2: It has been 3 months since my previous update, and Rachel's situation has taken some unexpected turns. I apologize for the delay in updating nevertheless. Things have been really hectic. First, I'd like to note that I gave birth to our beautiful daughter, Lily, about 6 weeks ago. Despite the stress of Rachel's current situation, the birth went smoothly, and Lily and I are both fine. Sam has been a fantastic parent, and we are gradually becoming accustomed to life with a newborn. The night Lily was born was a flurry of emotions. My labor began abruptly 2 weeks earlier, and everything happened quickly. Sam was excellent during the surgery, holding my hand and supporting me every step of the way. Lily's first cry was the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. Holding her for the first time, I felt love I had never believed possible. During our first days in the hospital, we were overjoyed to be new parents. However, when we learnt about Rachel, we were slammed hard with reality. As I mentioned in my previous report, Rachel was hospitalized due to pregnancy complications. Rachel lost her baby at 16 weeks, despite her medical team's best efforts. It was a devastating blow for her and Jack. It sent shockwaves throughout the household. Sam told me the news, which I recall vividly. We were in our hospital room, and Lily was sleeping gently in her bassinet. Sam's face paled as he recounted the facts he had just learned from his parents. My heart dropped. Regardless of what had occurred between us, I would never wish that agony on anyone, Rachel's. The calamity has a profound negative impact on mental health. She was admitted to a mental hospital for intensive treatment. Given the facts, our counsel advised us that pursuing the claims at this time would most certainly harm all parties involved. After much thought, Sam and I agreed to drop the allegations. It wasn't an easy decision, and I'm still torn about it. However, seeing Rachel in such a vulnerable condition taught us that she needs help and support, not legal punishment. We made it clear to Jack and Rachel's parents that our decision was conditional. Rachel should continue with her therapy and treatments. She is not to have any unsupervised contact with us or Lily until her therapist determines that it is appropriate. They promptly agreed to these terms. The family's reaction to our decision has been split. Sam's parents are relieved and grateful, considering that this is the first step toward reuniting our broken family. Linda's reaction of gratitude when we told her about our decision stands out to me. She hugged us both, tears streamed down her cheeks. My parents, on the other side, are afraid that we are being overly liberal, exposing ourselves to future difficulties with Rachel. My father was quite upset. He reminded me of the worry and strain I felt during my pregnancy as a result of Rachel's actions. It required a long discussion to get him to understand our point of view. Sam and I are concentrating on our new life with Lily. We increased our home security by installing cameras and a new alarm system. It may appear paranoid, but considering what has happened, we believe it is necessary for our peace of mind. Jack has been keeping us updated on Rachel's progress. She stays in the psychiatric hospital, is thought to be making modest but consistent progress. He stated that she had expressed profound regret for her behavior at the baby shower, but we have not heard from her personally. I'm still processing my reactions to everything that has happened. While I'm glad we made a decision that may help Rachel and restore our family, I can't shake my dread and doubt. I am not sure I will ever be able to completely forgive Rachel or feel secure around her again. For the time being, we are taking things slowly and focusing on Lily and our small family. The future of our relationship with Rachel is uncertain, but we are hopeful that with time and ongoing therapy, some form of reconciliation is possible. Update 3: It has been 6 months. Since my last update, I'd want to share some last thoughts on the topic. A lot has changed, and this could be my final post about this time in our lives. Lily is already 7 months old and is the light of our life. She's starting to crawl and babble, and every day is a new adventure. Sam and I are tired, but happier than we have ever been. Every day, seeing Sam and Lily reminds me why I fell in love with him. He is exceedingly patient and caring, always ready to make her laugh or soothe her when she is upset. Rachel was released from the psychiatric facility around 3 months ago. Her doctors say she's made significant strides in overcoming her sadness, anxiety, and grief over her miscarried pregnancy. She is still. He is having outpatient therapy and follows a consistent drug regimen. Rachel contacted us approximately a month after being released, through Jack. She asked to meet Lily. Sam and I were apprehensive at first, but after talking with our therapist, yes, we started seeing one to help us process what had happened. We consented to a brief, supervised visit. The meeting was a little awkward. It occurred in our living room, and Jack and Sam's parents were present. Rachel seemed scared and tried to make eye contact with us. She presented Lily with a knitted blanket as a gift and apologized for her actions at the baby shower through tears. She said that she was in a really horrible place mentally and emotionally, and that she truly regretted her conduct. Rachel held Lily for the first time, and I felt a strange combination of emotions. On the one hand, seeing her be compassionate with my child reminded me of our past strong friendship. However, I couldn't get rid of the image of her lunging at me with a knife. I found myself tense every time Rachel moved, despite the fact that I knew she would not hurt Lily. While I appreciated her apologies, I hesitated to accept them entirely. I'll never forget her coming at me with a knife. Sam appeared more prepared to forgive, but I sensed he was still guarded. He never took his gaze away from Rachel during her visit with Lily. Since then, a few more monitored trips have taken place. Everyone receives a. It's getting better, but I still have a long way to go before I'm comfortable leaving Lily alone with Rachel. We've set up a monthly visitation plan, always with Jack present, and usually at Sam's parents' home. It's a neutral environment, which puts everyone at ease. Jack has been tremendously helpful throughout the whole process. He is always present during the visits and will immediately remove Rachel if she shows signs of distress. He's also been attending to therapy with Rachel to improve their relationship and handle their shared grief over their child's death. The rest of the family is gradually settling into their new normal. Sam's parents are delighted to have their family back together, but they accept our boundaries with Rachel. Linda's eyes light up with relief whenever they are all in the same room without incident. Sam's father has taken on the role of peacemaker, always ready with a joke or a change of subject when tensions rise. My parents are apprehensive, but they are making an attempt for Lily's benefit. They've started attending us for some of our family gatherings, but I can see they're always on guard around Rachel. My mother, in particular, keeps a tight check on Rachel whenever she is with Lily. I appreciate their protection, even if it occasionally adds to my anxieties. Looking back on everything that has happened, I have mixed emotions. While I'm glad Rachel is getting the attention she needs, I can't help but wonder what might have occurred if we had identified her difficulties sooner. Would all of this have been avoided if we had been more vigilant? There are evenings when I lie awake, recalling every encounter we had in the months leading up to the baby shower, looking for hints we may have missed. At the same time, I've learned a lot about establishing boundaries and prioritizing my family's safety and well-being. I've also gained a deeper understanding of mental health illnesses and how they affect entire families. It has enhanced my empathy, not just for Rachel, but also for others who may be struggling silently. For the time being, we maintain a cautious optimism about the future. We are taking it easy with Rachel, always keeping Lily's best interests in mind. I'm not sure if our relationship with Rachel will ever be the same, but we are excited to see. Where will this next chapter take us? We had a family dinner last week at Sam's parents' home. It wasn't perfect, there were awkward times and tensions, but it was the closest we'd been to normalcy in over a year. Watching Rachel help Sam's mother in the kitchen, or hearing her laugh at one of Jack's jokes reminded me of the sister-in-law I once had. It gives me hope that with time and effort from all sides, we will be able to establish a new type of family dynamic. As for Sam and myself, the entire experience has brought us closer together. We've learned to rely on one another in new ways and to be more open about our anxieties and hopes. As we put Lily to bed each night, I'm reminded of how lucky we are and how much we have to be grateful for. Thank you for following our story and showing your support at this difficult time. Your advice and encouragement were invaluable. While I hope to never have to discuss such a difficult subject again, I am glad for the support I've found here. If this experience has taught me anything, it's that recovery is possible, even in the most unexpected situations.